Make a decision that meets the expectations of the people. The right strategic choice that has stood the test of history.
Unlike other major markets, Europe keeps its market open to Chinese goods. This reflects our long-standing commitment to rules-based trade. However, this openness is not matched by China, so we have reached a clear inflection point. As we said to the Chinese leadership, for trade to remain mutual, beneficial, it must become more balanced. Europe welcomes competition, we like competition, but competition has to be fair. We need to see progress on this issue, because without progress, it would be very difficult for the European Union to maintain its current level of openness. And we express together our expectations that China would follow up on our concerns, and the expectation that it would use its influence to bring Russia to accept a ceasefire, to come to the negotiation table, enter peace talks, and put an end to the bloodshed. How China continues to interact with Putin's war will be a determining factor for our relations going forward.
And we had the opportunity to express, first, our conviction that China, as a permanent member of the Security Council, has a special responsibility to influence Russia to stop this war, to accept an unconditional ceasefire, and to go to a fair negotiation with Ukraine.
We have been very clear on that topic. China has an influence on Russia, like the European Union has an influence on Ukraine, and that it is our expectation that China uses this influence to make sure that Russia is coming seriously to the negotiation table. Like we in the European Union don't even have to use our influence because President Zelensky has already offered and is at the negotiation tables and offered to sit down and negotiate seriously with Russia. Our primary focus is on achieving a negotiated solution. We want a negotiated solution. We have at the moment very intense technical and political contacts and discussions that are ongoing. But we are very clear, since weeks also, why we want a negotiated solution. All other instruments are on the table and remain on the table till we have a satisfactory result. Our joint statement on climate and the environment is a big step forward. We both see the opportunities to work closer together in sectors such as emission trading, just introduced here in China, carbon capture and storage, the circular economy, and our cooperation can set a global benchmark. Together, the European Union and China must uphold the Paris Agreement now more than ever.
We welcome President Costa and Ursula von der Leyen to China. It was a pleasure to meet you, and we have met many times. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Europe, as well as the 80th anniversary of the founding of the United Nations. Sino-European relations stand at a critical historical juncture. In the 50 years since the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Europe, exchanges and cooperation have been fruitful. It not only achieves its own, but also benefits the world. Among them, important experiences and enlightenment are mutual respect, seeking common ground while reserving differences, open cooperation, mutual benefit, and a win-win situation. This is also an important principle and direction of effort that should be adhered to in the future development of Chinese relations. In the face of the rapidly evolving world, over a century of changes and an intertwined international situation, China's leaders must once again show their vision and responsibility. Make a decision that meets the expectations of the people. The right strategic choice that has stood the test of history. Both China and Europe advocate multilateralism, a constructive force that promotes open cooperation. The international situation is becoming more serious and complex. China and Vietnam should strengthen communication, enhance mutual trust, and deepen cooperation. A stable and healthy relationship between China and Japan provides the world with more stability and certainty. Both China and Europe are part of the international community. We must firmly grasp the correct direction for the development of Sino-European relations and work together to open up a brighter next 50 years of Sino-European relations.